Alright, what's up YouTube? It's your girl Juicyanna. I said as part of my return to YouTube, I wanted to do a blog about first time moms. Now, I went to school for early childhood education and I helped raise my nieces and nephews who now are 15, 13, and 11. And you can see them in like a lot of my old videos as they got older. But there are certain things that you just don't experience until you become a mom. And part of that is good old breastfeeding, the joys of breastfeeding. So, my first experience with breastfeeding was at the hospital. He would not latch on. I thought something was wrong with me. He would latch on, just not for me. Like, I would try, and then he wouldn't do it, and the nurses would come in, and he'd get right the fuck on. So I was like, what? Do I not know what I'm doing? And then he had a favorite titty, which was this one. Still his favorite. He would not get on this one for anything. He did eventually start to get on it, but I had to use nipple shields. For a while, I just avoided this nipple because he would hurt my feelings. Like, he'd be making faces like, it just hurt all my poor little feelings when it came to this boob. So I just was avoiding it. But we did nipple shields for a while, and those worked really, really good. Shout out to the people who make nipple shields. And then eventually he started taking them because sometimes I can find a nipple shield and he would want some titty. So that experience for me was weird. Another experience in the hospital. I had a C-section, so I was there for 4 days. On the second day, he stopped latching altogether. He would not latch on to either of them. So I was like, forget it. I don't want my baby to starve. Give him formula. And as you know, at the hospitals, they have those little bottles. So he was taking the little bottles, and none of their pumps worked. I have big boobs, and the things that go on them just didn't work. And so all the nurses were bringing me these big ass things that go on them. And I don't know what they're called. Sorry. I didn't understand why they weren't working because I have big boobs. And then when I watched the video about breastfeeding, them women, no offense, had huge nipples. So I have big boobs, but my actual nipple, like the areola's big, but my actual nipple is not that big. So the pump that I got actually was given to me by someone who had smaller boobs. And at first I was like, girl, that ain't gonna work. And as soon as I got it, it pumped amazing. But at the hospital, none of the pumps worked. Even the pump that I already had a pump. Even the pump that I had at home did not work. So the research that I did into breastfeeding was not enough. It wasn't right for me. Mostly what I saw was that it was a commitment, but there was a lot more things that I did not know about breastfeeding when it came down to it. So when he had to take the bottle and I couldn't pump, I'm just like full of milk, not knowing. I wake up in the middle of the night and my gown is soaked in milk. I mean, when I tell you soaked, it was soaked. I thought I was tripping. So I went back to sleep. Next morning, I woke up the other side of it, drenched in milk. And one of the nurses came in and she was like, oh, yeah, you're not going to have a problem producing anything. So I'm like, I hope not. Like, this is kind of scary. So it took actually the hospital 3 days to get me a lactation consultant. 3 days for a first-time mom who did not know what she was doing. The nurses were a help, but my baby, as I said, wasn't latching. They could get him to latch, not me. Until finally the third day, I actually got a really good nurse, an older lady. She actually was able to help me learn how to latch him on, and she made it a point to get me a lactation consultant to come see me. But I was disappointed in the fact that it would take them 3 days to get me a lactation consultant. But it was funny because the nurse, she was like, well, this is a different nurse than the one who saw it soak on me. She was like, well, can you express some milk? I just want to make sure that, you know, you actually have something there. I went to squeeze it, and it literally sprayed out, shot past the woman's face, and hit the ceiling. And she was like, oh, my God, did it get in my hair? Did it get in my hair? Funniest shit ever. Like, the nurse was cracking up laughing. She wasn't serious, but she was like, oh, yeah, you have more than enough. You should think about donating milk. So all the nurses were wanting me to donate milk when it came to the end of it, which I heard big boobs are not any kind of indication of how much milk you'll have. But I don't know if you can see this. Yes, I have big boobs. These are 8-ounce bottles. My son is only 5 weeks, and I'm able to pump full 8-ounce bottles. These will not be 8-ounce full today because he's been eating on my boobs today. I'll probably get about 6 ounces though. But yeah, this experience has been one for the books, and I can see why some women, once they get it, they get hooked to it. My son was born weighing 6 pounds 11 ounces. He went down to 6 pounds 7 ounces because they dropped some weight. When we left the hospital, he was 6'7". At his first month doctor's appointment, he was 10 pounds 2.5. So I felt proud of myself because I'm not supplementing formula right now. It's all breast milk. So I was just like, oh my God, my boobs is fat. Yes, look at me getting him chunky all by myself. Hella proud of myself. But it's definitely been an experience. I am still trying to get a routine down. I'm going back to work in a few weeks here, so I'm saving up milk. I also pump milk for him to be able to eat in the daytime for when I don't feel like putting him on my boob, and I actively put him on my boob. So right now, it's a little bit scattered. I'm now, before I was giving him more actual breast than bottle, but now I'm starting to give him more bottle than breast because I need him to be able to take the bottle when I go back to work. But from what I read, some babies will absolutely only take breast, like they will refuse bottle. He doesn't do that, and he does not have nipple confusion. He takes wherever the milk comes from. He takes it these days. Sorry, I keep looking. It's because I'm looking at him. He's asleep. I'm making sure he's not waking up because he can be real finicky sometimes. So yeah, I'm trying to get on a schedule. He has a feed schedule that he sticks to pretty good. It's just sometimes my boobs go to whatever schedule. The worst is in the middle of the night. He may wake up and it's because milk is spilling on his leg, or I may wake up and the whole side of me is just drenched in milk. And when I say drenched, as I said, I can pump up to 8 ounces. One boob, it will be drenched in milk. Yeah. So I'm trying to get a schedule for that. And then there's the whole cry baby effect of when I'm wanting to give him a bottle and he starts screaming and my boobs just start leaking. And I'm trying to run through the house and the milk is just dripping everywhere. And I'm like, Josiah, stop. You're making mommy pour out. Please cut it out. Please stop, son. So I've learned now that when I'm warming up a bottle, put some titty in his mouth until that bottle's done, so that I don't leak as much. I'm getting a lot better because when we first came home from the hospital, everything was covered in milk. Letdown, I still need to do something about the letdown, which is when he's eating and the other boob is just leaking milk, because I always forget about it. And then I'm feeding him, and next thing I know, my belly, my pants, his onesie is just wet because the other one has just dripped. With my boobs, he can be done eating and I can put the boob away. But if I don't make sure the full nipple is away, that milk is getting out, baby. And for some reason, I don't feel it. I don't know if other women out there feel it, but I do not feel the milk when it's actually letting out. Only if it's on me do I feel it. I'm trying to learn some better positions for breastfeeding. Right now with the bras, it works the best because I can have a free hand for if I need to do something for him or if I want to watch my Law and Order SVU. But because I have big breasts, it can be a hassle. Breastfeeding, especially breastfeeding him, I'm limited to what positions I can do. And sometimes I feel bad about that because I see all these cute little women breastfeeding. I'm like, oh, it's so cute. I can't do that with my son. I might smother him. I definitely can't fall asleep. Everybody's like, oh, just pop the boob in his mouth and go to sleep. No, I'm not trying to kill my baby. He's not strong enough to lift my titty up yet, even though he tries. He tries to basically tell me that I don't know how to latch him on. Like, literally, I will be trying to do the latch, and he will take his hands, and he will push my boob back, and then try to get on it, and I'm just like, do it, son. Since you've grown, go ahead and latch it on, boo. But he does that a lot. Like, now, when we're actually giving him bottles, he holds the bottle. He can hold his bottle already. Not all the time, but like out of a full day of feeding, 3 of the feeds, he may hold the bottle himself. And he would like take it out your hand. Like, take it over and take it out of your hand and hold it himself. He's 5 weeks today. Today. He just turned 5 weeks. I don't know what I'm going to do with him. But, yeah, this breastfeeding thing, like they said, it is a commitment. Like, a commitment. I don't qualify for WIC, so I can't say I want to quit and go to formula. I cannot afford $25 cans, a formula. He already eats about 3.5 ounces of milk. So I'm going to breastfeed. I know it's the healthiest option, but even if I wanted to quit, I can't. I'm trying to think about how this is going to work when I go back to work, with pumping at work and everything. I'm in Washington State, and it is the law that they make it that I can pump. But I just feel embarrassed, like asking a male manager, my titties is filling up. I need to go release this. Like, he's gonna be like, what? I feel like that's uncomfortable. So any tips with how to go about asking your manager, can you go release your titties? Let me know. But yeah, that's one of my things with being a new mom that has been a very new experience for me. I know it's probably like, damn, she had a lot of complaints, but it is very hard. I did not expect breastfeeding to be this hard. When I saw people say it was hard but satisfying, it definitely is. It is hard. It is a lot of work. You know, sometimes I get up at 3 in the morning after he has 8 and I will pump because my boobs are like, no, we got more where that came from, especially if his last feed before that was also a bottle. I try to make sure that between bottles I pump. He actually is asleep right now off of straight breast. But as you see, I have enough to still pump. So I'm going to pump. I got to fill some bottles because I had a dentist appointment today. So he had bottles with him today. So I like to make sure I have at least 5 or 6 bottles in the refrigerator. And out of each pump, put away at least 1 4-ounce bag of milk to freeze for work. But yeah, I'm coming up on the end here. Or at least what I'm going to call the end for now. This is the pump that I have. Shouts out to you guys. Ameda, A-M-E with the accent over it, D-A. Their pump is great for me. I don't know what size breasts I have now, but prior to baby, I had a size G, and their pump is perfect for me. So it works good. But until next time, it's your girl Juicyanna.